His son said one thing at dinner, and this janitor ended up building $1 billion snack empire.
It burns!
Stop eating it, dummy.
No! I like it. It burns good.
At first, he didn't think much of it, but then he looked around and noticed everybody was putting chili on their food. And right there, the idea hit him. What if you took that spicy can't stop eating it kick and put it right on a chip that could go global? So Richard ran to the market and bought everything he needed. Him and his wife got to work, and they knocked out their first batch of chili sauce. But when they had their son try it, all proud and excited,
Hot, like elote hot? Good hot?
No! Bad, bad, bad!
Oh my God.
Now here's the thing. The factory's R&D team was also working on a hot sauce, but they were doing it the corporate way. Lab coats and chemicals. Richard looked at that and said, nah. He believed real flavor could only come from real chilies, grown in real soil, made the way his people been making it, old school Mexican, from the soul. So he went all in, hit every farmer's market he could find, bought every chili they had, crushed them, cooked them, tried again, over and over and over. And to get the sauce to stick to the chips just right, he took his kid's hamster wheel and rigged it into a homemade tumbler. Finally, after failing more times than he could count, a batch of chips carrying everything this family had was placed in front of the ultimate taste tester.
Ow, 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 burns!
Burns good or burns bad?
It burns good.
And right there, the snack that would take over the planet, Flamin' Hot Cheetos, was born. And this wasn't just about a chip. This was a janitor proving that where you start doesn't have to be where you end up. But when he brought this idea to his supervisor, the thing that could save the factory, and asked him to take it to the CEO, the guy laughed in his face.
Tell him, oh, our janitor, the guy who cleans the toilets, he's got a bright idea.
You know I can do more than clean the toilets, Lonnie.
It ain't like that, okay? New products take years to develop, cost millions to launch, and they do not get created by blue-collar hoodlums, who probably can't spell the word hoodlum.
Yeah, that stung. But Richard, he's not the kind of guy who quits. So that night, when everyone went home, he snuck into the office, found the CEO's number, and first thing next morning, he called it. Now the second the secretary heard he was a janitor, her finger went straight for the hang-up button.
Okay, no, don't hang on. I have an idea that's going to revolutionize Frito-Lay, that'll save our factory, that'll save jobs, that'll save hardworking people who are just trying to survive. Like, if he cares about his people on the line, Mr. Enrico needs to hear this.
But something about this guy, his heart, his sincerity got through to her. She put the call through. The CEO picks up, and Richard just goes for it, lays out the whole idea, walks him through everything he did to make it. The CEO wasn't feeling it at first, until Richard hit him with this.
And you said in the video, think like a CEO. So I did.
And the CEO just stopped. That thing he said on TV, that corporate pep talk, a janitor on the factory floor actually heard it, believed it, and actually did something about it. So the CEO said, all right, send me a sample. Few days later, the package hits his desk. He pops one in his mouth and immediately starts choking for water. But it didn't turn him off. He couldn't stop eating them. Didn't even wipe his hands. Just picked up the phone, called Richard, and said, I'm coming to your factory. 2 weeks. Now that news hit the factory like a bomb. They went floor by floor, office by office, hunting down which idiot dared to call the CEO. When the supervisor found out it was Richard, he dragged him out in front of everyone and said, if the CEO shows up and sees we've been losing money and your little idea turns out to be trash, he's shutting this place down. And every single person here, unemployed because of you. That weight crushed Richard. He started doubting everything. But his wife Judy, she saw him breaking. So she pulled him in front of the mirror.
Look, you see that guy right there?
With that guapo right there, yeah, I see him.
Yeah, you do? You see a good man? I see a chingon. They're scared. Scared of what you can do for them. Scared that they've been begging for help and they got a broke Mexican kid from Huasti as their hero. They don't know what to do with that. Baby, do you know what I've been praying for all these years? That you would see the gifts and talents that you have. Baby, use your gifts. Be great.
That brought him back. For the next 2 weeks, this man who barely finished grade school taught himself business like his life depended on it. How to connect what you're selling to what the company's making. Judy wrote him a whole speech. And right before the big day, she went out and bought him a tie, one they couldn't really afford. Even his old man, who never believed in him, showed up and helped fix his suit. Then game day came. In his head, Richard saw himself walking out like a hero. Everybody cheering, shaking the CEO's hand, smooth as it gets.
The infamous Richard Montañez. What an honor to meet you, Richard. Are you ready?
A huevo. I've been ready.
Reality, he squeezed through the crowd like a lost puppy and stumbled up to the CEO totally flustered.
So nice to meet you. Are you ready, Richard?
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
Up on that stage, Richard's reading off words he's never used in his life, and the suits in the audience are trying not to laugh. And under all that pressure, he realized, this script is not me. So he tossed it and just started talking. He said, look, the stuff on these shelves, it's all the same. The Mexican-American market, nobody's paying attention to it, but it's massive. These are people living far from home, just looking for something that reminds them where they came from. And that something, it's right here. Flamin' hot Cheetos. Then some exec goes, okay, what's the market share? Richard froze. He had no clue what market share even meant, but he thought about a supermarket shelf. So he just spread his arms out wide and said,
This much market share.
the whole room's laughing at him. So Richard stopped pretending. He said, look, I don't know what market share is, but I know what it's like to be invisible. And if someone made a product that said, we see you to people like us, it wouldn't just sell, it would explode.
If we knew that there was a product out there for us, we'd say, take all our money, cabrones. I got a little hood there at the end, but...
Gentlemen, did you know we could get this much more market share? Did you? Thank you, Richard. You have given us a lot to think about here.
Sir, I got some more graphs and stuff that I could show you.
Sir, R&D already has a spicy product in the Midwest, and it's testing just fine.
Just fine. I aim to do better than just fine, James. Have McCormick send the spicy seasonings here. I have a good feeling about this man. He may not know about market trends, but he knows about people, and that's where I always put my money. Let's see what he can do with it.
And you know what? The CEO gave him the green light. 5,000 cases. Put it out there. See what happens. But when the product hit the shelves, nothing happened. Weeks went by. Nobody touched it. Just sitting there, collecting dust. And that exec, who always had it out for him, jumped on it, pushed to kill the whole thing. Even Richard started wondering, did I get this wrong? He couldn't figure it out. This thing tastes amazing. Why isn't it selling? Then his son said something that cracked it wide open.
What do you mean?
The Cheetos. They didn't tell anyone it exists. There's no commercials, but there's commercials for everything.
Turns out that exec had been sabotaging him the whole time. Zero marketing, zero promotion on purpose. He wanted it to fail, so he could point at Richard and say, see, just a clown. That's when his son pulled out his piggy bank, years of saved allowance, and said, Dad, use this for ads. Richard said no, because he had a better play. Next morning, he went and found his old crew from the block. These guys used to run the streets back in the day, but they were born hustlers, every last one of them. They rolled up to the factory deep. Richard got up on a crate, looked every worker in the eye, and gave the realest speech of his life. He said, this chip goes under. We all go under, so we fight together, and they did. They launched a full-on street-level marketing war. After every shift, the workers loaded up their trunks with all the unsold product, drove into the neighborhoods, and handed bags out to everyone they saw. Meanwhile, Richard's family hit the supermarkets, buying up every single bag themselves, creating a fake buying frenzy. So other shoppers would stop and think, wait, what am I missing? Between that street-smart hustle and a flavor that literally spoke for itself, word of mouth did what no ad campaign could. People tried it, told their people, and it spread like fire. Before long, shelves were getting wiped clean. When the sales report landed on the CEO's desk, that growth chart practically blew his mind. And when he saw the marketing budget, $0. He grabbed the phone, called Richard, and said, we're going full production now.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yes, sir. Like how many? Like 5,000?
No, Richard. 5 million. We're gonna need 5 million.
Not playing, are you?
No, Richard.
Just like that, a factory that was basically flatlined came roaring back. Those machines running again, sweetest sound those workers ever heard. Families that were about to lose everything, saved. 6 months later, the factory was doing better than it ever had, even in its prime. But the people upstairs, they forgot the guy who made it happen. Richard was still a janitor, still being told, go clean the bathroom. But when he walked up to the second floor, feeling like he didn't matter, the CEO, Roger, was standing right there, waiting for him.
Mr. Enrico, what are you doing here?
I was in town for a convention where I told them about your story. They loved it. Of course, I told the shit out of it. Because it's a story I know very well, Richard. You know, I ran around the mines of small-town Chisholm, Minnesota when I was a snot-nosed Italian kid who had dreams bigger than what that place could contain. The thing is, Richard, visionaries can't be contained. And a smart person doesn't try to contain them. In fact, smarter guys like us invest in vision. So I'm thinking it's a good idea to invest in yours.
I don't understand.
What do you say? You want to join us? You show us the big plans you have for marketing to your community?
Before Richard could say a word, the CEO pulled out a nameplate, Richard's name, right under the words VP of Marketing, and slid it into the door. Richard just stood there, couldn't even move. And downstairs, the whole factory erupted. Cheers, applause, everything. Once he could breathe again, Richard walked into his new office. And the first thing he did, the very first thing, he called his wife.
Hello, and thank you for calling Target Warehouse. This is Judy. How can I help you?
Hey, Jude, it's me.
Hey, baby, what's up?
We're gonna need more ties.
I'm so proud of you.
This movie isn't about a chip. It's about a man the world told to stay in his lane, who refused to listen. Richard was a janitor. No money, no connections, barely any school. But he had eyes that saw what nobody else did, and a stubbornness that wouldn't let him stop. He turned the flavors of his Mexican hometown into a global icon. And he did it while everyone was laughing at him. He couldn't talk the talk, but he understood people. He didn't have credentials, but he had something you can't teach. Belief, the guts to call the CEO, the pride to use real chilies, the heart to rally his people when nobody else would. He fought doubt with passion. He won people over by being real. His wife held him up. His family had his back. His people stood beside him. He was never alone in this. This movie is proof. Your story doesn't start with your circumstances. There is greatness inside ordinary people. The hustle nobody believed in. The fire nobody understood. It blooms when it's time, and it lights the way for anyone brave enough to bet on themselves.